The world of global trade is in turmoil. On April 5, 2025, the Trump administration announced a new 10% tariff on nearly all imports. This impacts many countries, including allies like Australia, Britain, and Brazil. The tariffs aim to protect American jobs and industries. The administration argues other countries have taken advantage of the U.S. The impact was immediate and dramatic. Financial markets around the world shuddered. The Dow Jones plunged over 800 points. This tariff is the latest in an escalating trade war. The administration argues unfair trade practices have hurt American businesses. They believe these tariffs will level the playing field. Critics worry these tariffs will hurt American consumers and businesses. The tariffs are raising tensions with key U.S. allies. The coming weeks will be crucial in determining the true impact. The global economy is watching with bated breath. The initial reaction on Wall Street to the announcement of the tariffs was swift and brutal. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, a key barometer of the American stock market, tumbled by over 800 points. This sharp decline reflected the deep anxiety among investors about the potential consequences of a trade war. The ripple effects were felt across the global stock market, with major indices in Europe and Asia also experiencing significant losses. The tariffs have injected a high degree of uncertainty into the global economy, making investors skittish. The price of gold, often seen as a safe haven asset in times of turmoil, surged upwards as investors sought refuge from the market volatility. This flight to safety further underscored the level of concern about the tariffs' impact. The bond market also reacted, with yields on U.S. Treasury bonds falling as investors poured money into these perceived safe haven assets. This drop in bond yields reflected a growing belief that the tariffs could slow economic growth, potentially pushing the Federal Reserve to lower interest rates. The markets are bracing for a period of prolonged uncertainty. The imposition of the new tariffs has ignited a firestorm of criticism and retaliation from countries around the world. China, the primary target of the Trump administration's trade policies, wasted no time in announcing retaliatory tariffs on a range of American goods. The European Union, long a close trading partner of the United States, expressed its deep disappointment with the tariffs and vowed to take action to protect its interests. The EU is considering filing a complaint with the World Trade Organization, challenging the legality of the tariffs. Canada, Mexico, and Japan, all key allies of the United States, have also voiced their opposition to the tariffs and are exploring retaliatory measures of their own. The tariffs have strained relationships with some of America's closest allies. The potential for a full-blown trade war looms large, casting a shadow over the global economy. The tariffs have upended decades of established trade norms, leaving businesses and governments scrambling to adjust. Section 4. Corporate America braces for impact. The new tariffs are sending shockwaves through corporate America, forcing businesses to confront a new reality of higher costs and uncertain markets. Major manufacturers, particularly those in the automotive and technology sectors, are among the hardest hit. Ford Motor Company, a pillar of the American auto industry, announced that it would be delaying the release of a new car model due to the tariffs' impact on its supply chain. The company warned that the tariffs could lead to higher prices for consumers and job losses in the auto sector. Apple, the tech giant known for its iPhones and other consumer electronics, saw its stock price tumble after the tariff announcement. The company relies heavily on manufacturing in China, and is facing pressure to either absorb the higher costs or pass them on to consumers. Retailers are also grappling with the fallout from the tariffs, as they face the prospect of higher prices for imported goods. Walmart, the nation's largest retailer, warned that the tariffs could lead to price increases for consumers on a wide range of products. Section 5. The price of protectionism. Consumers face higher costs. The impact of the tariffs is already being felt in the wallets of American consumers. The price of imported goods, from clothing and electronics to cars and appliances, is rising as businesses pass on the increased costs. The price of a new washing machine, for example, has increased by an average of $100 since the tariffs went into effect. This price hike is putting a strain on household budgets, particularly for lower-income families. The cost of a new car is also on the rise, as the tariffs disrupt the intricate global supply chains that the auto industry relies on. These price increases are making it more difficult for Americans to afford essential goods. The tariffs are also having an impact on the cost of services. The price of a haircut, for example, has gone up in some areas as barbers and salons face higher prices for imported shampoos and other supplies. The tariffs are contributing to a general rise in the cost of living, eroding consumer purchasing power. Section 6. A tariff tug-of-war. Arguments for and against. The tariffs have ignited a fierce debate, with proponents and critics clashing over their potential benefits and drawbacks. The Trump administration argues that tariffs protect American jobs and industries from unfair foreign competition. They believe tariffs will force fairer trade deals and bring manufacturing jobs back to America. Critics argue tariffs are counterproductive, raising prices and stifling economic growth. They warn of a potential global trade war with devastating consequences. This debate reflects a broader divide over government's role in the economy and free trade versus protectionism. Section 7. A world adrift, long-term implications and uncertain futures. The imposition of these sweeping tariffs marks a pivotal moment in the history of global trade, ushering in an era of uncertainty and raising profound questions about the future of the world economy. The long-term implications of this protectionist turn are far-reaching and complex. One potential consequence is a slowdown in global economic growth. The tariffs, by disrupting global supply chains and increasing the cost of goods, could dampen consumer spending and business investment, leading to a decline in economic activity. Another concern is the potential for a global trade war. As countries retaliate against each other with tariffs and other protectionist measures, the global trading system could unravel, leading to a fragmentation of the world economy. The tariffs could also have geopolitical implications, straining relationships between the United States and its allies, and potentially emboldening rival powers such as China. The tariffs represent a gamble. The stakes are high,